With this school year ending at home for students, Governor Cuomo now planning for their hopeful return to the classroom in the fall. So he has convened a committee with the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation to reimagine schools. CBS 2's Hazel Sanchez spoke to educators about their expectations.
It's almost certain the face-to-face learning students have always known is not what they'll encounter in the fall. Governor Cuomo and the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation teamed up to form an advisory committee to reimagine what education will look like.
The old model of everybody goes and sits in a classroom and the teacher is in front of that classroom and teaches that class, and you do that all across the city, all across the state, all these buildings, all these physical classrooms. Why, with all the technology you have?
It's that comment and the state's proposed budget cuts to education that has many parents, students, and teachers concerned about what the long-term future holds for teachers' jobs, their schools, and face-to-face instruction. Education policy expert and Hofstra professor Alan Singer, a former high school teacher, believes increasing remote learning could be devastating.
All of a sudden, we have champions emerging who are claiming that online instruction is the wave of the future. And what they're proposing is that online instruction could be done for the cheap. And the reality is, when you invest in the cheap, you get substandard.
The governor's office and the Gates Foundation declined to comment on their vision or why current New York City educators weren't invited to join the committee. Michael Mulgrew, president of the United Federation of Teachers, fears the final template will be flawed.
It really becomes about how do we come up with this hybrid instructional model of sometimes in person and sometimes remote, and how do we make that more effective off of what we've just learned? And since nobody has ever done it, it's interesting to me that people aren't talking to the people who actually do the work.
Some education experts believe the committee's effort to enhance technology in schools could be very beneficial.
Making sure that teachers are not only well-trained and prepared to use those technologies, but those technologies really are a tool that supports the incredible work that they're already doing.
Andrew Buer, former chief operating officer of New York City's Department of Education, is now managing director of Opportunity Labs. The nonprofit group worked with health and education experts to develop a return-to-school roadmap. It gives school leaders guidance on steps to take when developing plans for wellness, instruction, school operations, and technology.
We should be working to ensure that we return to school stronger than we did before.
Education experts say the plan's success relies heavily on transparency and inclusivity, making sure diverse voices from across the state are heard and served. On the West Side, Hazel Sanchez, CBS 2 News.